Why are we like looking?
Good evening, villagers. How are you doing?
Oh, there we are.
Yeah, we're definitely live.
We're very tired.
It's been quite the weekend around here.
I'm not feeling so fresh, so I've been.
No, it was. It's definitely been a difficult weekend.
Oh, R1s! I love my Juan
Mike,
Rodriguez.
Lena, Noah. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Mickey Sightings. Sean, how are you? Good to have you. It's been quite an unusual weekend for us here in Northern California. 1 million customers without power.
That's up and down the state.
It's about 3 million people.
Fires everywhere.
Evacuations everywhere. And the thing is, the evacuations have been ongoing and at various points.
Hi,
Donna. But
it's just...
we have not been touched. Fortunately, we haven't even been very smoky. Phantasmic Chronicles, thank you for joining. It's good to have everyone here tonight. So,
I've just been mildly under the weather, a sinus nasally thing.
Yeah, that's
just I've not
slight irritation.
Feeling real great.
Thank you, Donna. Little darling, we're doing well. Thank you.
Phantasmic Chronicles.
Yeah, we're doing well.
Yeah, we're safe. We've been out of the.
I did a quick Instagram story earlier today. I went live for about 3 minutes while Doug was getting
gas
for the car. And at that point, I was showing what looked to be like a fog bank, which is normal here in the Bay Area, but it was not a fog bank. It was smoke. And
I'm a night owl.
And it's weird. The smoke was coming from Grizzly Island. Is that what you said?
Grizzly Island.
Grizzly. It's an uninhabited island in the bay, more toward the delta. Oh, hiking deep. Thank you.
We're really not night owls. It's just 8 o'clock here in Pacific.
You boys have turned into night owls.
I'm naturally a night owl.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Doug usually does some of his best work around midnight.
I get my second win when he starts falling asleep around 9. I'm like, okay, I can get some work done.
Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
He starts.
But yeah, it's good to have everyone here. Thank you so much for joining us on this late edition of the Daily Dose of Disney. It is 11 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 8 o'clock here on the West Coast. But we wanted to make sure that we got it in. And wow, we're safe. Everyone in my family is safe.
We're fine. No power.
And no one in my no one in my immediate family here or in Oakland lost power or have had issues. One quick story. Megan, who you frequently see in the chat, she woke up in the middle of the night. She had blocked the fireplace with paper because smoke was getting in the house and so forth. So she wanted to minimize the smoke exposure as much as possible. So she put blue painter's tape around the face of the fireplace along with brown butcher paper. Woke up in the middle of the night, heard a sound, and it sounded like she had a burglar in her house that was eating potato chips.
It's a weird story, but yeah, you had to be there.
And so she got up and realized it was the paper in the fireplace that was making that noise.
Yeah.
So she realized she was okay. Pam's fam. Good to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
I don't know.
I want Donna to feel better. I think she's been a little under the weather.
Yeah. Yeah, Donna, I hope you're feeling better.
Some stuff post, and it's like I watch. There's too many cooties out there. People are making everybody sick.
Yeah, I know that. But I know also that some of you saw us this afternoon. We were on Disney Nerd Herders channel. Charlie, and Stacy interviewed all three of us.
It was like stereo. We knew what each other was going to answer.
It was very kind of weird. Doug almost took on the essence of the twin vibe at some point. So
I just, yeah.
It was kind of funky. But let's see who else is here. Stacy, Jonathan Chung, thank you so much for being here. Jonathan Chung, Mickey Sightings, Noah. Oh, hi, Noah. I don't know that I acknowledged you before, but thank you for being here. It's good to have everyone here. It is October 27th, 2019. I'm Arnie.
And I'm Doug.
You're watching Pepper Tree Villa, and this is your Daily Dose of Disney.
Today, there's some juicy stuff that happened in the years of October 27th.
Let's see. Let's see. Hi, Arnie and Doug. This is from Stacy. When will we get vlogs of you guys interviewing yourselves like Ben's vlog?
When we have the time. I like the idea. It's just...
We will get to that. I promise. We will get to that. Oh my goodness. Phantasmic Chronicles. It's 41 degrees here. I'm under blankets watching you guys staying warm.
We're short.
I would love for it to be 41 degrees right now outside. But unfortunately, we've had winds and so forth. But I want to see Doug interview Doug. We'll see what we can do about that. I'm sure Doug would be surly with himself.
Disney. Yeah, go back. I think it was entertaining. Stacy and Charlie are quite charming, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun interview.
They were odd. They had odd questions.
Charlie and Stacy are fantastic. We love the Disney Nerd Herders. They're just so nice.
Not as cool as Pam and Donna, and Mike.
Oh,
I'm just seeing those words. All of you guys are amazing.
Yeah, we love
Doug to ask. Oh, the white gloves.
We do love our village.
I do love my gloves.
Yeah,
I love my gloves.
I just love our village. Everyone's just so nice. Thank you. Oh, I love you, Doug. Pam, thank you. Northwest Arkansas, 50-ish degrees, clear skies with cool breeze. We had
the air conditioner on yesterday, which I hated it because I didn't want to have the air on the end of October.
Yeah, but we had to keep the air on at times because it was warm, and of the smoke outside, we had to keep it filtered as much as possible.
Yeah.
So we did that, but the winds changed slightly, so we were okay today.
Is it DNG here?
No, she's posting our support channels.
All of our...
Pam, thank you for posting our support channels. DNG Explorers and Two Real Geeks are our major support channels. Thank you so much. And Mike Reeler, I love me some Doug and Ben.
I feel so sick.
Yeah, Doug is a little...
I'm nasally. I'm just... Ugh.
So, well, let's go ahead and get started with some information for you. We could sit here and just talk all night, but let's go ahead and get some information to you. John Cleese. I don't know how many of you know John Cleese. He was with Monty Python's Flying Circus, but he's done a lot for Disney. And one thing comes to mind is he played the ape named Ape in George of the Jungle in 2003.
Uh-huh.
He was Winnie the Pooh in 2011 was the narrator. He did a voice in the movie Planes. So, yeah. He also narrated 4 episodes of Disney's House of Mouse. So, he was born in 1939 on this day, October 27th.
He's a very good actor. This is really important. Oh.
Yeah, this one is important. The Instagram post, the Twitter tweet, and the thumbnail that I put out here said Disneyland. And that's because on this day in 1954, October 27th, 1954 was a Wednesday, and Walt Disney premiered his show on ABC Disneyland.
This is I wish they put them all on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
Yeah, we would love to see
all of them because that was something that it literally is something that
it's historic.
It's so historic. It pretty much is like the show that was heard around the world, and it was so revolutionary. And you read me something about what Disneyland did.
Yeah, on the show. Let me read here my notes. On the show, every week it was the same introduction. They would introduce the 4 different lands of Disneyland. They would skip Main Street and go on to all the 4 original lands. And it was described as Frontierland, Tall Tales, and True from the legendary past. Tomorrowland, Promise of Things to Come. Adventureland, the wonder world of nature's own realm. And Fantasyland, the happiest kingdom of them all.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
And there was nothing like it. Nothing like it in the world.
The first episode was called The Disneyland Story. It was where Walt explained what the park was and everything. He actually said, "We hope it will be unlike anything else on Earth. A fair, an amusement park, an exhibition, a city from Arabian Nights, a metropolis of the future, a place of hopes and dreams, facts and fancy, all in one."
He hit it right on the nose. That's what you read to me, and I thought I was absolutely brilliant. He hit Disneyland or the Magic Kingdom spot on. Absolutely spot on.
Stacey, I'm with you. Hopefully it will be on Disney Plus.
Now,
eventually.
do we have copies of those Disney 10s?
I believe we do.
Did they have all of the Walt Disney's Disneyland?
I believe we have some episodes of Disneyland.
But not all of them.
DVD. Not all of them, no. But I think we have some videos of Disneyland. So we'll have to check out our library.
It'd be easy to put on stream.
Yeah, definitely. It would be really cool. Oh, man.
Just read an article that money for
Dollar for dollar, Disney Plus
is the most expensive streaming based on the total media available to stream.
What they don't realize is
I don't care.
I don't care. It's all Disney.
Really?
That's what I want.
I feel like you get a lot more from than what you pay.
Well, except that the number of hours, total hours viewed that are possible, is shorter than anyone else. Even though if you were to watch everything on Disney Plus, beginning to end without stopping, it would take you between 6 and 7 months to watch it. That's as of right now.
Yeah. Sure, there's some of the stuff is small in time, but the amount of stuff, you get better quality. Again, it's not about a lot of time, it's about the quality you get.
The longest particular single video that they have on Disney Plus is going to be The Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Starring Julie Andrews, of course, and Christopher Plummer from 1965.
That thing is huge. That goes on and on.
Oh, I love that film. It's one of my favorite movies. If I had to say, just someone said, what's one of the films in your top 10 of all time? The Sound of Music would be on that list.
When I see Kurt Russell, I tie him with yes, Kurt Russell.
Yes, Hike and Deep. He was the first to report the Phoenix Lights as he saw them as he was flying on his private plane. He was the pilot. You know what, Hike and Deep? Yeah, you know what? Kurt Russell, definitely. I associate him heavily with Disney, with movies like Now You See Him, Now You Don't, The Barefoot Executive, The Strongest Man in the World. Kurt Russell, he was a darling.
Stacey's absolutely right. I've said this over and over again. They're not going to give us everything. They're going to want to tease us what's coming. They can't give us everything. That's absolutely stupid. You're a business. So you want to say, okay, now we're going to come out with this next stuff to entice people and to always get something fresh and exciting to look forward to. So people whining that they're not getting everything they want, they will bring stuff out. They're just not going to, they're going to give us a nice steady diet of stuff, not let us gorge it all at once.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it's Disney and it is, I don't care how much it is.
Let's see. The Hills.
I'm going to pay for it.
Mike Wheeler says, the hills are alive with PTV on my screen.
Oh. But yeah, absolutely. I just don't care how much.
Jelly's Journeys. Thanks for joining.
Well, unless it's not $99 a month. That I do, but I really didn't care how much it was.
Yeah. On this day, also in 1966, Walt Disney filmed a special television show at his studio talking about Epcot. And he explained everything of what was going to be happening according to his plans.
This is the video you see all the time.
He filmed, remember, in 1966, he filmed this like 6 weeks before he passed away.
He just came out of the hospital. He was in the hospital before that. Came out for a couple months. Very, very, very sick. We don't know. And he recorded it. So that one wall of Epcot, that the Magic Kingdom, that he explains it, he was extremely ill during that time.
Yeah.
But nobody knew.
It happened to be co-produced by Marty Sklar, who was a big mucky muck eventually with Walt Disney Imagineering. Wow.
Everybody's saying all their pleasantries. Benjamin's up. More pleasantries.
So the film did not debut on TV as it was intended. Instead, it was shown to Florida officials in February of 1967 to explain what Walt's vision was for the property in Florida.
Because the cat's out of the bag already.
Yeah. What Walt said was, welcome to a little bit of Florida here in California. This is where the early planning is taking place for our so-called Disney World project. Now, the purpose of this film is to bring you up to date about some of the plans for Disney World. And that's when he explains the experimental prototype community of tomorrow.
He passed away.
So, yeah.
Ugh,
yeah.
So sad.
It was very sad.
When you go to the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco, and you go through the history, and then you go through this one room. They actually have a crying room. I call it a crying room because it's his passing. It's very sad.
Officially, it's not a crying room, but
it's a crying
the room is all white, and there are video monitors all over on the walls, and it is
magazine articles and newspaper
off-grid desert farming. Thank you for joining.
It's so sad.
Yeah, it's a very sad room.
Everybody gets all weepy, and there's couches. I call them the fainting couches that you can faint on. It's true. It's all in that room, and then you walk out into the junk store, which is good. Yeah, after you're depressed.
The junk store. That's, of course, Doug calls every single souvenir stand and souvenir store junk stores.
I have a lot of junk I really like, just like Tomato said.
Yeah. And
Junkyard Jumpery.
Again, if you watched us earlier today on Disney Nerd Herders, we did talk a little bit about collecting. People think we're hoarders, but if we were hoarders, would there be empty floor behind us? No.
No, we're collectors.
We're collectors. Heavy collectors.
Heavy collectors.
But we're very specific about what we collect, and a lot of it is
not
Disney.
junk. Yeah.
A lot of it is Disney. But of course, the collection behind us on the shelves, that's Doug's cookbooks. So
yeah.
And that's one thing that's going to be coming. We've promised it, but he will be doing a show as soon as we can figure out the logistics of doing it. He's going to be doing a show about cookbooks and recipes. So old-timey kitchen is his plan.
Yeah, that's my not resolution, because I really hate that word, but that's something I want to get into. It's just the last 6 months have not turned out. Yeah. Mickey Sidens, you can't have too many cookbooks. It is a complete weakness.
And how many do you have, Doug?
Well, if I have my app, probably close to 900 to 1,000. But that's not including counting all my little vintage things that are impossible. There's probably 200, 300, 400 right there.
Yeah. So yeah, he's got over 1,000 resources of cookbooks and pamphlets and other things like that, magazines. So Will Darlin says, yes, I can't wait. I love, and then Phantasmic Chronicle says, I love cookbooks. Yeah, you know what? It's coming. And we're also going to be doing some cookie recipes coming up soon, but that's going to be for December. You'll find 12 days of cookies. So that's in the plans.
I'm freaking out. I just don't have time.
October 27th, 1998, A Bug's Life. Not the movie, but the soundtrack was released on this day. So pretty cool. Let's see. We had officials in the year 2000 from the Disney Store, along with Mickey and Minnie, opened the second prototype Disney Store at the Cherry Hill Mall in New Jersey. The opening comes 3 months after extensive renovations to the location.
Pamela technically cataloged all of them. There's a great app. So kind of, sort of, but
yeah. She said, think you've already done that.
Yeah. And then I could come out, yes. And then I like collecting them. Not so much using them. I actually do.
See, Donna said that she had a 500 collection of 500 cookies before she downsized and moved to Florida. Donna, that's impressive.
That's quite the impressive.
Lothar, thank you for joining. Good to have you. So yeah, that was in 2000. Let's see, what do I have here?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, here it was. We don't really talk about deaths and births too much today. Yeah. I'll mention this one, though.
Those are huge. Like, they made a huge difference.
Yeah. Rod Roddy in 2003 passed away. Some of you may remember his name from The Price is Right.
Come on down.
He's the one that always told Bob Barker's contestants, come on down. You're the next contestant. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right. He passed away on this day, was 66, 2003. Now, his connection to the Disney universe, if you liked the show House of Mouse, and we both love the House of Mouse. Yeah, he had great shirts. He was a big flair person. A lot of flair.
Okay, he was flair.
Yeah. A lot of color. He was a very big personality.
But
he narrated soap. That's right, Ben.
And
the
microphone.
Yeah, his name. He was the microphone on the House of Mouse. His name was Mike.
Oh, so
Mike
good.
The microphone.
Oh my God, he was so good. He was so good.
I like that one. In 2002, October 27th, on this day, the Anaheim Angels won their first World Series championship. Now, why do I bring that up? because at the time the Anaheim Angels were owned by the Disney company.
Right. And then they sold them the following year. They just got the World Series ring and the trophy.
And there were
them.
There were a lot of fans here in the Bay Area that were very upset about that because they happened to beat the San Francisco Giants during that World Series. And of course,
it took them 8 years.
We're A's fans. So, you know, I just remember being down in Anaheim at that time. Doug and I went to the Disneyland Resort at that time, and we saw the Rally Monkey. That was one of their big mascots at the time. And they had a giant Rally Monkey hanging off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Probably pictures of that.
I'm sure there are pictures.
Yeah.
If you search out Disneyland Rally Monkey 2002 out on YouTube or on Instagram or on Google, just Google it.
He was the Liberace of game shows.
You know, I would say that Phantasmic Chronicles is a very good description of Rod Roddy.
He's flamboyant. I mean, good for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the A's and Anaheim won. That was good.
Okay, now I mentioned World Series and things like that. On this day, the Boston Red Sox won their first World Series since 1918. So it was, almost 100 years since they had won. But the reason why I bring that up is because David Ortiz was stopped on the field, cameras on him, and they asked him, "What are you going to do now?" And he says, "I'm going to Disney World." He was part of that campaign. One of the most successful campaigns of all time for Disneyland and Walt Disney World.
That's huge.
And of course, the very next day, he would be flown to Florida, and he'd have a parade down Main Street at the Magic Kingdom. Later on, he'd be flown out to California and do the same thing at Disneyland. It was wild.
There's an interesting video from another follower, a YouTuber, that picks all these obscure things. And he talked about how the "I'm going to Disney World" or Disneyland came out to be. And
oh yeah, Rob Plays
did it. And he explained it, why it happened. And of course, it was a Michael Eisner idea. But watch that. Go to Rob Plays. He's big in YouTube. And it's fascinating how, so many things come to be. Yeah. That now it's such part of culture of every day. It's like, how did that actually happen? How did it start?
Yeah. Stacey Rogers says Rod Roddy would go to Thailand for shirts. That doesn't surprise me because they were perfectly fit. Perfectly tailored.
Well, Cameron Cam on Modern Family, all of his shirts that you wear, he's a husky guy. All of his shirts are custom made. Not a single one of them are bought. And that's why you see his cuffs, they're aligned with another very florally or flamboyant fabric, but he has a really nice professional looking shirt. But every single shirt's custom made, and he never wears the same one twice.
Yeah. Keystone, thanks for being here. Good to see you. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Follow up Mickey Sightings just said, don't forget to click that like button. Thank you. So let's see. Also in 2004, Pixar's computer animated feature, The Incredibles, had its world premiere at the BFI London Film Festival. I think that's the British Film Institute. It premiered in London on this day in 2004, and later on it would premiere in the United States on November 5th. So about a week later. Pretty cool.
I can't click on that.
Which one?
Question for you. Is there anything from Disney what gives you the willies or that creeps you out?
That you do not like or you can't think about?
It just is really...
Okay. With Halloween coming up, it's rather gruesome and so forth. I don't like to talk about death too much, but there are people that have died at Disneyland, for instance, for very awful accidents.
Oh yeah, no, I know some
terrible accidents. But that's something that I don't like to talk about, and it kind of creeps me out. That would be something.
Or you can think about. Generally anything that I go in, I feel really good. There's nothing like creepy that I like. That's just disturbing. I don't have a problem with clowns.
Mike Wheeler says 10 years ago, about 20 minutes ago, my grandfather passed away on this day. Oh, Mike.
God, Mike.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now
Mike.
we're talking about stuff that's sad.
Yeah, let's change the subject away from
Yes,
death.
yes.
I'm so sorry. I did not mean to bring everyone down on that. I'm so
No.
sorry. Oh my goodness.
When I was a kid.
Oh.
Okay, we're still on Rod
Yeah.
Bobby. He is just hot chuff tonight. That is a good question, though, by Benjamin.
So Off-Grid Desert Farming says, my dad worked for the Florida Steel in Orlando and did the estimating for Walt Disney World in the 70s. That's cool.
Okay, I understand not liking to talk about people dying at Disney, but you just made me wonder which park has had more deaths, Walt Disney World or Disneyland.
I would personally need to do research to find that out. I can think of 3 deaths at Disneyland personally that I know about, but I know that there are probably more. There have been people born at Disneyland too.
Oh, yeah.
But
I know that
the difference between Walt Disney World and Disneyland, that would take some research.
Because of Disneyland's been longer, but not that many people. It's a morbid thing to think about, but you have to assume that someone will just keel over because of a heart problem. It just happens anywhere.
Yeah,
happens at grocery stores. But it is something that you can't. I mean, we have the Golden Gate Bridge, and statistics of people. Again, I shouldn't even be talking about this. That pass that don't want to live anymore off the Golden Gate Bridge is a lot stronger, but the media doesn't publicize it, and nobody wants to talk about it because we don't want to advertise it to make more people want to jump off the bridge. So, but yeah, it's kind of one of those things that it's there, but nobody knows. But it's known. You have to know.
Hiking Deep wants to search for ghosts at Disneyland. Trying to get Discovery Channel to send him there. That's actually an admirable goal. I don't know that they'll buy into it. And the reason why is because Disneyland is actually a place that's not going to be empty when you're there. I've been to Disneyland overnight before, quite late. Doug spent the night one time, and it's amazing. There are cars and trucks that drive all over the place all night long. People are going from one side of the park to the other because they need to do something, say, from Frontierland, then they have to go to Tomorrowland, then they have to go over to New Orleans Square. They're driving all over the place.
No one can be pronounced dead on a Disney property. I don't know how the rules and laws happen by state and how that all happens. I would hope, a hospital.
Cholino Sanchez, thank you for joining. There's that icon again, the tomato. I love that icon.
Yeah, Lofar, you did bring up a very depressing. We're talking about people jumping off bridges, dying at Disneyland or Disney World. Something that we all want to do. We do this because we want to live.
Yeah. But
is there a day when they allow people to stay over? Yes. I was there.
Go ahead and talk about it.
I was there. It was the first time ever they had anybody. Disneyland was open all night. We were part of the line to stay for the opening of Disney's California Adventure on the 8th, February 8th. No,
you were there
7th.
You were there February 7th.
7th. We stayed the night. They corralled us in. I was on Main Street. And it was the first time ever they kept the park open to have people sleep there. And I slept on the streets of Main Street, or the parade route of Disneyland. And they got us up, and then I was part of the opening day ceremony of California Adventure. It's huge, big thing.
And then it wasn't Disneyland, but I've spent the night along with 10,000 of my closest friends at California Adventure. And that was the night of July 16th, 2005. And that's because Disneyland was celebrating its 50th anniversary the next day. And they corralled us in a very specific line inside California Adventure. They had to wait for the park to close. They cleared everything, shut down all the stores, and then they kind of like herded the people that were already in line outside Disneyland into California Adventure, making us line up in a very orderly fashion to the point where the line snaked around almost the entire park. And like I said, there were about 10,000 people in line by the time the night turned to day, and they let us inside Disneyland at 7 o'clock in the morning. They opened the park early for us so that we could go stand in line to buy tchotchkes in their mobile junk store.
Yeah, they did that. And so we're talking, they've done quite a few 24 hours in all the parks, but they would close it for like a couple of hours and then reset. This is where the park closed, had people stay the night and then open up. The events of 24 hours don't count because they have done those quite a bit, or 35 hours because of the 35th anniversary of Disneyland. The park is open for 35 hours, but they ended up still closing.
Did that for the 30th anniversary too.
But that's not staying the night of just having people just wait in line and stay inside.
I had a friend at the 30th anniversary, and at the time of the birthday, they had these arches of balloons over Main Street, and when the time came, they went ahead and released it on each end of the balloons. So one end of the balloon would be released, and then also it would stand up. And when it stood up, it formed a giant candle, to the point when they finally had 30 candles all the way down Main Street from the tops of the buildings of Main Street. That was for the 30th anniversary.
Who do you think has done more over the top things than birthdays? I think Disneyland has, not because it's older.
You mean or Walt Disney World?
Walt Disney World. I think out of all the birthdays,
probably Disneyland.
I mean, they've done 35,
but I've never really tracked that.
I think they have. I mean, it's easy to track all the anniversaries.
Yeah, but I've been to the 30th, the 35th
40.
celebration.
40 was huge.
I was living in Southern California when they did the 40th. They remember them giving up party hats. We had birthday cake that they gave us. We did the same thing for the 45th. As a matter of fact, we have little party hats that are in the Disney tree for the 40th and 45th birthdays.
I have another question. There was a book what came out in the 70s about Walt Disney. It's very rare and very expensive, and I was wondering if I think
if you could name what the book is, that would probably help us out.
Because I have some old ones from the 70s.
Mike Wheeler says, I slept in the tunnels underneath Magic Kingdom because when I worked there, if you had overnight rehearsals and I had to be at work in the morning, I just stayed there.
But you're a cast member.
So you slept in the utilidors.
Yeah,
How cool,
you
Mike.
don't count. We're talking the standard riffraff. That, us peasants who are not cast members.
Hi, Queen Rosie. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, you have to tell me what book. There's quite a few from the 70s, and we have some books from the 70s. And I know some of them I have. I don't know.
Yeah.
We have to tell me which one you might be talking about because.
Oh, Matt. Hi, Matt. Thanks for
really
joining.
Huge.
Cool.
And I can't think of the one.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
Because we do have some very old books.
We do have
Disney.
a lot of books about Disney history, Walt Disney, and the archives. Lots of stuff.
Oh my God,
Yeah, lots of stuff. So we do a lot of research. We are fascinated by the stories of Disneyland and Walt Disney World. I like sharing that information too. That's why I do the Daily Dose, because it's so fun to do a lot of the research. Rachel, hello there.
There's a lot of Rachels and and Jack Sandys and
well,
the
stories are amazing. Oh, thank you, Sean.
I thought we were just so boring. I mean, everything we have is a story, and sometimes when we met, many of you know Jim from More Sunshine Please, when we hung out with him at Disneyland, we came off of Small World, and I was sitting beside him, and if you watched his video this morning, I was actually beside him when he recorded Small World at Disneyland, and when we got off the attraction and we were going up and over, and I had to stop him and push him off to the side and say, am I boring you? Because all I feel like I'm talking and giving you all the tidbits because and am I irritating you? Because I was irritating myself because I was just like,
good night, Amy. Thanks for joining.
And he said, oh no, keep it going. You're not doing enough. And I thought I was doing way too much, but that's how it went in because we were just spewing stuff out and I didn't know it was
Rachel,
I had to stop myself.
You're not boring, you're amazing. Oh, Rachel, thank you.
So that was my only thing.
And Rachel, says your aunt is safe from the fires. She's breathing in some. You know what? We've been breathing in some smoke here too. Doug's had
I thought I had my nasal problem was from all the bad air, which I think a lot of it had to do to it.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, that's just the way. That's just the way it is right now with all the fire.
Yeah,
it's
just text us or he'll keep us up. Yeah. I mean, we try to tell everybody
anything that's going on.
The media is going to make it a lot worse than it really is. It is bad.
Yeah,
but it's not widespread.
But let's just say there have been fires popping up everywhere, and we don't know if it's caused by PG&E with wiring problems, or if there just happens to be a potential like a firebug that just enjoys arson and chaos, because that does happen, especially during high wind events like this. And they some people are just, it's sad. It's just sad.
It's very sad.
But we're not quite sure what's going on and what the source of all the fires are. But
yeah,
Lothar,
you're
in
in
Winnipeg. Of course, it's snowing. Ben, you're
snowing.
right. Lothar's right. It's snowing.
Yeah,
it's Winnipeg. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's snowing.
Well, that's all I have for the history.
I'm curious of what book he was talking about.
Yeah, you know what? Which book? If you can find out that name, send us a private message on either Twitter or Instagram. We'll see if we can do the research and find out if we can either get the book or if we have it in our collection already.
It's quite extensive. You guys are so nice.
Hashtag BTV fan club. Rachel, I was just talking with Mike about that yesterday. So thank you. Thank you very much. So that's about all we have.
Yeah,
unless anyone has any more questions that they'd like us to answer. So just
you
about
guys
time.
asked us some interesting stuff.
Oh,
but
Doug, you're not boring at all. This blind man thinks you're intriguing.
Very few copies.
Matthew! It's Matthew of Matthew and Lauren Vlogs.
Hi,
Everyone say
Matthew.
hi to Matthew.
I saw you this morning on Jen's video.
Matthew, we saw you on the video. We were
kind of brought back a lot of memories
We were
of us
laughing.
talking. We were very little late, but glad we're here. Yeah.
Yeah, we were laughing today.
Let me see if I can find something really, really, really fast. Because I
Okay,
think there is a book.
He's curious.
Because
Yes, could you go through every title of books you own? We'd be here a while. We'd definitely be here a while. But like I said, Doug's got, and the thing is that this is not all his cookbook collection. This is just part of it. Part of it's over there, and then parts in the kitchen. There's part in both of the other bedrooms that are here. And, well, fantastic. We've got the gloves right here, so he's ready to go at a moment's notice. Catherine Naya Official, thank you for joining. Good to have you here. And Stacy says, Pam, they will never let the trees, they will never get the trees finished. That's true. You know what? If we were to read those books or the titles of the books, give you that whole list, we probably would not get. And remember, this is the YouTube tree. There will be ornaments on this from ornaments that people send to us at our mailbox. And we will make sure that we share all those ornaments with you on air. We'll do a specific show and tell episode of that too. We have some great episodes coming up at Christmas time. We're going to be definitely doing a show and tell of Christmas ornaments that people have that they treasure. They may not necessarily be the most expensive ornaments, but they just happen to be specific ornaments they treasure. So we're hoping to get that organized. Greg, Expedition Greg, thank you so much for being here. It is great to have you.
Well, there's this that was printed and it came out in.
He says it might be called something like The Strange Men. Oh, that's the Bob Thomas original.
Yeah, this is the Bob Thomas is in 1976, and this is a 1980 copy I have. No, I'm not wearing my gloves, but but what did he say it might be called? The
Strange Men. So wait, where will the Idaho ornament be? When we have to get an Idaho ornament. If it's sent by someone in our village, we would probably most likely put it on the YouTube tree. It wouldn't be part of the travel trees, although you know what? It could be. But I'd like to try and keep everything that people send to us from our YouTube community, from all of our villagers. I would love to see them on the YouTube tree. Now, we are making some ornaments as well for that too, including a garland that will go around the tree. And that's going to be for people who have accounts that follow us on Instagram. So if you have not followed us on Instagram, please do that. You'll find us at Pepper Tree Villa. And Every single name on the list is going to be on that particular garland. I promise. Right now, let me see. I had a list of the number of people that have followed me so far on Instagram. Let me see if I can find that information for you right now. As of right now, I have 441 followers. So all 441 names are going to be on the garland of the YouTube tree. That's going to be quite some garland. It's going to take me some time to get that done. But yeah, definitely. It says, wait, Pepper Tree, I'm in Idaho. Yes, yes, you are in Idaho. Yes, Rachel. Rachel, you don't have Instagram, you have Twitter. Okay, okay. I decided to go ahead and keep it to Instagram, but Rachel, in your case, if you have Twitter, yes, I would do your Twitter handle. But just make sure that you remind me of that so I can make sure that it's there, because I don't always have the best memory for stuff like that. When I say something here, I have to make sure that it's written down or people remind me. So Rachel, definitely remind me about that.
Oh, you know what? There's so many here I couldn't even get enough.
He couldn't find it.
I mean, there's a lot of books, but I mean, I have Disney's 9 on M, but that's not from the 70s.
No, that's not.
We have one that I got in an estate sale from 1956.
Yeah, this is
Very
a pretty
rare.
cool book. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Greg.
It's kind of rare. It's a little, the peeling is falling apart, but it's The Art of Animation, and if you could believe it, goes up to Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
It's very old. It's from an estate sale, but it's actually good, and it has literally nothing about Sleeping Beauty book.
Matthew's asking, can you both sing us a duet?
I can't sing. He's a professional singer. I'm not. I'm an artist.
Yeah, my degree in college actually, yeah, that's the book.
That's the book? Well, this is from the 19...
No, he's talking about Walt Disney, the original. That's the book. Or is it the Art of Animation? Lothar, is it Art of Animation that you're talking about, this particular copy of it?
Outside of... Because it's a beautiful... It's a Simon & Schuster. The book is 1956.
Yeah, it's an old book.
Very, very, very old. I mean, really old.
So anyway, Matthew, yeah, I have a music degree. Oh, hey, Jeff, Dole Whip Dad, thank you for being here.
Yeah, 1958.
So
and this is
by the way, let's see, yes, it's the Art of Animation. It's worth $600.
No, it isn't.
That's
seriously?
Oh wow.
1956. Let me see if this is even first edition. Let me get my glasses so I could see.
So anyway, that
I should be using my gloves.
Ben was here at the villa. We did an interview today with
by Bob Thomas. He written a lot.
We did an interview with the Disney Nerd Herders, and during that time, we had a Christmas tree that was rotating in the background behind us, and that tree is our Disney tree with 1,000 ornaments, 1,700 lights. It's 7.5 feet tall. It rotates. And it takes Ben and me hours to do. And it was an hour and a half just to put the lights on a couple weeks ago, and then another 5 hours to decorate it today. And it's not quite done. It's almost there. It will be done within the next 2 weeks. When Ben comes back, he will help me put on the garland on it. Ben does a much better job of the garland than I do. So I have him do the garland on the tree. And then we have the dining room trees that are done. Those are called the travel trees. Those are done. The trees that flank our Disney castle are done. The miniature tree that sits right on the edge of the kitchen, that's done. And then we have the YouTube tree fluffed and lit. We have other trees throughout the house that are fluffed and lit. By the time we're all done, we're going to have over 25 trees that are lit and decorated in place here at the villa for the Christmas Forest. We're documenting everything for you so that you can see the whole process of how we do our trees. And then during our live streams, we're also explaining how we decorate and why we decorate the way we do.
I think this is it's the first edition, first copy. Copyright 1958 by Walt Disney Productions, all right reserved throughout the world by Walt Disney Production, designed by Walt Disney Studios. Produced by the Sandpiper Press and artist of the Writers Press Inc. Printed in the United States by Western Printing. They did a lot of Disney books. And Lithographing Company. Published by Simon & Schuster, Rockefeller, New York. Doesn't even have a zip code of New York back then.
Yeah. Texas.
This thing is
Texas Lottery Fun. Mike and Liz. Thank you so much for being here. It's good to have new people here. If you've not yet subscribed, please hit subscribe button for our channel. Ring that bell so you know when we go live. We go live every day for the Daily Dose of Disney.
Yeah, this is this book.
Monday through Friday. It's generally at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific that we do that.
First edition, Beauty and the Beast VHS. I have the copy of Little Mermaid with the unfortunate little artwork of the artwork.
Yeah, we also have the Lion King.
I'll show you my Lion King.
We have
Once
the
I
Lion
get the
King
4K
on VHS. We have it on DVD, Laserdisc, the collector's editions. We have it on Blu-ray, Blu-ray 4K.
We have it all.
Literally, all of them.
If there's a Lion King copy, I got them all. Yeah, I got that one. There's the one I was talking about. We did get it.
Let's see. Texas Lottery Fun saying, where was that?
Dole Whip down now.
You're here from Texas. Thank you.
Mansfield here.
Dole Whip Dad, super close. Mansfield here. Hey, that's cool.
Oh my God, I need my glasses. This is so much better. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Wow. He's not wearing my gloves. Yes, I know. My hands are super clean.
Gloves are here.
But now that I know that book that's gonna go.
Wow,
I didn't know it was.
Lothar, you are up on your collectible knowledge there.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Wow. So, are there any other questions that you have for us here?
You guys are insane. Mickey Mouse and Goofy Comics from 1956 are almost a quarter of a million. That doesn't surprise me. We do have this over here. I don't know how much it's worth.
Which is that?
I need my gloves so I don't get hissed at.
Texas Lottery Fun was born and raised in Denton. About 45 years. Born and raised in Oakland, California here.
Just gloves.
Doug needs his gloves.
What did we think this was from? Sweden or German?
I think it's somewhere in Scandinavia.
But it's a April 1970. It's an okay condition, but just like anything. It's a European Donald Duck. And it's all, I think, in Scandinavian.
Matthew says, we are still...
look how hideous
Matthew says, we're still trying to think of a Disney fact that you guys don't know. One day we will stump you. Until then, you will be our encyclopedia.
But look at it. It's all done in a foreign language. But this is a European comic from 1970.
And Stacy's saying, there are the white gloves.
Those 1970s children. Ugh.
Oh, you know what, Stacy? And who else mentioned Laserdiscs? That was...
we actually have a Laserdisc.
Stacy mentioned Laserdisc. Someone else mentioned Laserdisc. I have a Laserdisc of Song of the South.
Where is that?
It's a Japanese import. It's in the closet.
It's in our closet?
Yeah, it's in the master closet.
Yeah, we actually have a copy of Song of the South.
I got
a legit copy, too.
I got rid of my Laserdisc player years ago, and I also sold off my entire laser collection except for two titles. One was The Lion King, and then I had to keep Song of the South. It was just because. I don't have a way of playing it. I just wanted to say, yes, I own Song of the South.
We have them, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, it is tough to find. I got it. My goodness, this was back in the 90s that I bought that Laserdisc. I even remember the store. Between here in the Bay Area, and then if you go down across the Santa Cruz Mountains into Santa Cruz, there's a little town called Scotts Valley. And in that little town, there are lots of church camps and things like that. So I was there for a church camp. And then in that town, there's also a place called the Laser Connection. It was a store unlike any store I'd ever seen before, just disc after disc of rare or hard to find movies. And that's where I found my copy of Song of the South. It was a Japanese import.
I would love to see if we can get a junk sale Laserdisc. I would love to see Song of the South.
And we have it. We've got a copy of it.
No, get a Laserdisc player. We'd have to like rig it up.
I know, but no, I've got it on DVD.
Song of the South.
Yeah, I've got a copy of Blu-ray. It's a bootleg copy, but yeah, I've got a copy of Song of the South on DVD.
I thought we just had Laserdisc, but I knew we have almost it all.
I have I've amassed quite a collection.
How
of
many
stuff.
bricks on Sleepy Castle? Oh gosh, that's kind of being a little.
How many bricks in Sleeping Beauty Castle? You know what? I don't know.
No,
but truthfully, I don't think there are any bricks. It's all facade.
That's facade.
It's carved. So but I'd have to find that out to see what it is because
they're not. It's not real.
Yeah,
it's all done made out of wood.
Jeff, Song of the South watch party at Pepper Tree Villa.
Yeah, we do have it.
Come on over.
What's your backup?
That's what you do. Back up for regular playing. True. Exactly. It would be nice to dress up for Halloween in 70s garb. Would be pretty funny. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween this year. We usually have a costume contest at work.
I just think you should go as a Cloud9 employee from Superstore.
I've already been a Target employee at work.
It's easy. This is something you can get through and then get through the day.
We also see Ben has to dress as a superhero as well as Harry Potter. He's going to put a Ravenclaw. He was told what he had to do at work. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm home alone. It's not.
My niece is very clever though.
Who knows the Lion King?
Better between you two. Oh, probably Doug.
Yeah,
probably Doug. It's his favorite film. My niece, her son, my great nephew, is going to be dressed as an astronaut, and my niece, because she's pregnant right now, has decided that she's going to go as the planet Saturn, and she's going to fashion some hula hoops around her, so it looks like she has rings around her. So pretty funny.
Did you know that the Cinderella Castle model they had in the Emporium at Walt Disney World is not an exact replica? It's missing a turret.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, because they probably just use a generic.
You know, that's interesting because you say that there used to be a model of Cinderella Castle Emporium. Disneyland, back in the 90s, they did a remodel. And when they did, they centralized all the cash registers in the center of the store. And in the center of that whole corral of registers was a giant snow globe. And in that snow globe was a model of Sleeping Beauty Castle.
It was.
And I thought, wow, that'd be pretty cool to have. And then one time they remodeled the store again, got rid of the snow globe. Lo and behold, we saw that snow globe again, but not where I would expect to see it. It was in a personal collection of friends that we have.
We have some really good friends that showed us their collection and they had it.
They actually built their house
around
They built their house around their Disney collection.
Hocus Pocus, they're going to probably put a lot on Disney Plus to make it. They're going to have stuff put on the theaters because they're going to make money on theaters because they still can. But they actually, movie studios don't make that much money at movie theaters, to be honest with you. So subscription and people's data is more important. Hocus Pocus will guaranteed be on Disney Plus. So many more people will subscribe to it. It's cheaper.
Look, they're talking about the 70s here. I remember my sister, she went to grad night in 1974, and she had a yellow plaid pantsuit, very smart pantsuit. And it had these huge collars, huge collar things, and it was very slim and everything. But when you went to grad night, you dressed up. You dressed up big time when you went to grad night. Of course, that was the 70s. As years went on, I did not go to grad night in 1982.
I think lazy fashion went into late 70s. I think definitely 80s it went to super more casual. Now everybody's wearing athleisure and it looks like they just got out of the gym.
Captain Akron, thanks for joining. Good to have you here. Yeah, so I graduated from high school in 82, and when I graduated, I had the opportunity to go to grad nights, but opted not to because our church was during that time, they did what they called the year-end trip. And so Ben and I went with our church to the year-end trip, and instead of just Disneyland, we got to go Pee-wee golfing that first thing in the morning. We went down to San Diego. We stayed overnight at the Hotel Del Coronado. Jeff, you know that. You know the Del Coronado and how awesome that place is. After all, you used to live in San Diego.
Jazz was born in 1982.
And then after our night at the Hotel del Coronado, we see Hotel Del. Nice. Yeah, Jeff, it was awesome.
I have
a bunch of high schoolers at the Hotel Del. It was awesome.
I have a haunted San Diego.
And so after that, we woke up really early that morning. Everyone got on the bus. They drove us to Disneyland, and we spent the entire day at Disneyland. So that was our year-end trip, and that was so much better than grad night.
Yes, Grand Floridian is essentially
it wants to be the Hotel Del.
Yeah, I mean, it's essence of it.
So right. So right, Jeff.
It is known, and Disney has admitted it. They use that as inspiration. That's totally true.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, you guys are so wonderful, choking us down for almost an hour.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I did not realize it was this late, everyone. I did not realize it was so late.
Well, now you're freaking me out about this book. And it's written by Bob Thomas, of all people. He's done a zillion books. He's done...
Oh, let me show one thing. I'll be right back.
Oh, I have... Everybody knows about my Mulan book. Now I should really look at my insurance company to see how much stuff insurance we have. Does anybody know what TV shows was filmed at the Grand?
There's a show filmed at the Grand Floridian?
Oh, what TV shows were filmed at? I don't know. I don't think...
probably some of the sitcoms. I'll bet things like any of the sitcoms on ABC.
Oh, yeah, they would use that.
They probably would use the Grand Floridian as a background.
Full House, I think they probably...
Yeah, Full House makes sense. That would probably do that. I kind of got a little concerned at work earlier this week, or earlier last week, rather. Doug mentioned the value of that book and how concerned he was about it. And
okay, I'm going to put it over here. Now I know.
So we like Lego. We just like Lego a lot. And my nephew gave me this. It's just a simple calendar. And I've had this Lego calendar in my collection.
10 years?
Yeah, probably about 10 years or so. And I didn't think anything of it. Every month I change it out. So that
right dust on it.
Right now it's October, and I keep the extra bricks behind it so that it's about every single month. And
sit on our end table.
Yeah, just sits there.
Ever.
It's pretty cool. I didn't think anything of it, and we keep it out most of the year, but at Christmas time we don't have our end tables, and that's where I keep it in the family room. So I have it sitting there on the coffee table. And then I thought, you know what? I better start getting things ready for Christmas. So I started clearing things off the table. Doug said, here, why don't you take this to your office? Because I usually take it and put it on my desk at work. Well, we moved...
I'll just set it right there now.
Yeah, we moved into a new space. I'll just put it here. There we go. We moved into a new space a couple months ago. And I had this sitting on my desk. And there are people that I have not shared office space with before, and I had this sitting on my desk, and they've been noticing all sorts of different things on my desk. They see this giant popcorn bucket that's there of the little green men. It's an annual pass holder bucket from Disneyland. Yeah. They see my fall decorations. I've got a cornucopia. I've got a jack-o'-lantern, and I had this calendar, and I didn't think anything of it until someone stopped at my desk and says, "Ooh, that calendar is really cool. I really like that calendar." I thought, okay, thank you. And then he came back and said, oh, by the way, do you know that calendar is worth like $100 on eBay? I thought, no, I did not know it was worth $100 in eBay. So that got me a little concerned because another one of the employees from that particular office came to me and said, by the way, your little Lego calendar here, this is the talk of our office. Everyone wants to see this calendar and everyone's talking about it. And I thought to myself,
since we have trust issues,
yeah, I have trust issues at work like that. You know, I didn't think anything of it. I didn't want anyone taking it, so I thought probably better take it home.
Then because I showed him, I thought he took it home, and I seen it on the table. I'm like, I thought you brought this. And then he told me the story. He's like, it's not like you're supposed to take some of the stuff to work, but it came home.
There was one TV show that was filmed at the Grand Floridian. It was set there. Does anyone know? Let's see.
It was a TV show called Thunder in Paradise, and Hulk Hogan was
Thunder. I remember Thunder in Paradise. Oh, it was a dreadful show.
I do know of it. I have to look it up to remember. I know of it, but to see.
Stacy, the reason why I know Thunder in Paradise is because I worked at a TV station in the early 90s. And the station I worked at ran Thunder in Paradise on Saturday afternoons. It was a terrible show. It was a horrible show, actually.
No, it was.
Yeah, Thunder was the name of the boat.
We actually named our dog after the boat.
Oh, I like that. So, very cool.
Oh, she said she liked it.
Oh.
You know, what we say is dreadful, but what some people like, we like stuff that a lot of people think it's dreadful.
The reason why it's, I'll tell you it's dreadful, the ratings. The ratings in our office were awful. No one watched the show. They just didn't like it. So it just showed, which is why it didn't last very long on the air. So the one show that did air a long time for us was Star Trek: The Next Generation and Star Trek. We would have Star Trekkies. They prefer to call themselves Trekkers, but Trekkies would call our station every day and say, "What's the episode that's airing tonight?" And I would give them that information because I would relieve the receptionist on her breaks. And then they would tell me, you know what? No, you can't air that show. That particular episode is out of order. I thought, oh, please, I'm sorry. I don't have time for this. So,
well, I mean, a reminder, most people who collect items do not know the actual value of them. It is always a good idea to check out every item you have for the property value, just in case something happened to them. Technically, this is what we heard from our insurance people and some attorneys. It's stuff has some tangible worth to it. It's like a Picasso, a Rolex. We know that has a real tangible value, but a lot of this stuff is what people are willing to buy. As a collector, they look at it as if they needed to unload it or sell it without being someone who knows what it is. How much could you get for it? A lot of this stuff to some people is totally junk. Yes, I have some stuff that's into the mega thousands of dollars, but if I just went out to sell it, nobody's going to get it to me unless another collector knows of it. Because unless you have it and you put it through a real auction house, there's all this stuff. So I have a general idea, but I don't want to know about it, I do know about it because I do know, but I don't obsess over it because it brings me pleasure and I want to enjoy it for what it is. So it's not something I just think about or obsess over.
Jonathan Chong is right. It's Trekkers. See, I knew it. They prefer the term Trekkers. Everyone else calls them Trekkies, but they prefer Trekkers. So, and
I'm not a fan.
Oh, he has an original movie poster. That's cool. I love original movie posters.
I have the movie poster of Lion King.
Yeah, Doug has
signed by all the cast.
Yeah, he has a Lion King poster that's the original movie
poster. The actual original movie poster of Lion King signed by all the voices.
Yeah.
It's in the room. It's on the wall.
It's in the Mickey room.
It's huge. It's framed.
And then, Ben has Beauty and the Beast. And then Stacy says that she had a dog named Thunder, a Rottweiler German Shepherd mix. And they got a little dog, a little Jack Russell Terrier, an American Eskimo Terrier mix. They named him Lightning. That's okay.
That's cute.
Stacy, that is stinking cute. That's very cute.
I collect something very.
He collects catalogs from many thousands of them from all over the world. Okay,
that's cool.
That's cool. Actually, that's a very interesting collection. You know what? We've been here over an hour.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Yes, thank you, Mike. Mike's a subtle hint that he wants to go to bed. It's midnight. Thank you, guys, for putting up with us. We're just talking.
Thank you. Thank you for spending this evening with us.
We're going to go have a piece of pumpkin pie from last night.
Yeah.
You'll know more about that later, why.
Yeah, we got pumpkin pie last night, and it's pretty good. It's pretty darn good.
But yeah, thank you guys for putting up with this. Now I'm freaking out over that book.
Lothar. Lothar, if you don't have a Balsam Hill catalog, let Ben know.
We have.
You'll learn about Balsam Hill. We actually have Balsam Hill trees and greens and things around the house for Christmas, and you'll see more of that as the forest unfolds on our channel. So
Yeah.
I love you
Bye-bye,
guys. Have a
people.
good night. Goodbye, chat room. Have a good evening. Hug your friend, hug your family. Everyone, thank you so much. It has been an absolute joy
we're gonna
spending
let you
time
go.
tonight with our village. We just absolutely love you. Thank you
Thank you,
so
guys.
much. And oh, look at that.
You're gonna see a lot of our trees.
D&G Explorers.
Hi, guys.
They just joined. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you can text us a little bit later if you want to know what we did, or just watch this.
Yeah.
So, okay, everybody, we're
Yeah.
gonna let you all go.
D&G is one of our support channels. Go and support them as well. Make sure you subscribe to D&G Explorers.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're about ready to go get some pie. Have a wonderful day tomorrow. Go out, make it a very special day. Just make sure, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Good night, everybody.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Love you all.
We'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Daily Dose, and for PTV Live tomorrow night when we are tasked with the 15 fall questions. We were tagged.
I haven't seen it yet.
We were tagged by Jeff of Dole Whip Dad. So we are going to be doing that for our live stream tomorrow night. 15 fall questions. Everyone, oh yeah, that's right. Ben is on Steve's World tomorrow night. Steve's World tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific. So make sure that you watch him. And I'll be there tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the Daily Dose of Disney. In the meantime, everyone, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Good night, everybody. Bye.